We are back, Paradox Podcast with my brother Jeff. What's going
Sir,
on, Jeff? How you feeling?
all is well. Episode 13, right?
Yep, 13. We checked last time,
Mm,
so there's no messing up. And I don't know, we fly through it, and also we take breaks. Like I feel like we've been taking more breaks recently,
yeah.
but yeah, 13. And yeah, man, it's crazy. We started this a couple months ago, and
Mm,
it's starting to take a life of its own.
yeah. Yeah. And I'm not mad that we had to take that break. It was for good reason. So, back at it, being as consistent as we can. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk with you for real because I feel like in breaks, our strategies change,
hmm
outlooks change, they get updated. So to you, because I know I have a bunch of stuff that I changed
mm.
in terms of execution. For you, what do you think is like the biggest takeaway from the past couple weeks in terms of like changing direction?
There's definitely been a lot of working on our internal systems. Like a lot of our time for the past quarter, really, first quarter of the year, was spent on our studio system. So getting memberships, running hourly sessions, how to make those pillars more efficient. And now that we kind of have a grasp on that, it's more so focused on how are we internally um, clarifying our own proven process when it comes to content or events, things like that. So the focus has shifted a little bit, just more internally instead of externally. Yeah,
Do you think it's because something I'm not gonna say bad happened, but was there a big event that was like, okay, this has to change? Or was it more like a gradual like, okay, we need to pivot or change our focus, I guess.
it was just one thing at a time, getting everybody on one accord when it comes to the business. And now that that's not, now that that is figured out for the time being, we can focus on our individual and what helps us be most efficient in our role at the studio. So it wasn't nothing sparked it off. It was more of just a one thing at a time type of mentality.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel like it's better that way because when you have something really bad happen, I feel like emotionally that hits different rather than kind of coming together, in your case, like with a team and being like, okay, we can do A, B, and C better.
Yeah.
Because I think we were talking about the last time, like the accountability checks from having a team. So, everybody's going towards the same goal, everyone cares, and so people are gonna pitch in like, yo, like we could be doing this better, or maybe
Yeah.
we have to look at ourselves to be better, you know.
That was the main thing was individually, like everybody understood our goals, our mission, things like that, but individually the systems weren't aligned. So that's kind of what we're tackling now, and it's helping. It's definitely improving, and um, just adjust the ability to adjust because you're not gonna know, what's wrong until usually, it gets to a certain point. Um,
Yeah.
we've really just been working on our ability to adjust, and when things come up, we just act accordingly.
Yeah. No, I think that's a big point because we talk a lot about awareness
Mm,
and that a lot of times the ability to say, hey, we need to adjust, we need to adapt, that comes from a care. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because you really care about what you do. And so not having that leaves you just sliding down whatever path you're on,
Mm,
for better and for worse. And if anything, what you just said is what I'm going through, where I was sliding through a path of, I'm not going to say stagnation, but I would say very slow growth. Like
mm,
very, um, it didn't look like things were happening and or changing.
yeah.
And I felt like that I could 2x that, 4x that. And when you don't, I don't know, it's almost like when you trust it too much, you're just like, nah, this is how it's supposed to be. You know what they say, like sometimes it is the slow burn and then suddenly things change. But I've been really challenging that recently. And
Mm,
sometimes you do really need to get in there and be like, no, we can change stuff right now.
yeah,
And really look at your your inputs and outputs. It's like, okay, I'm doing A, B, and C. I should be getting, X, Y, and Z back. But I'm not. And even if I was wrong, I think that strategy is what we all need sometimes. A bit of I'm not gonna say aggressive, but very intentional, like looking back at what am I doing and is it equating to what I really want?
yeah.
And yeah, that's just a tough thing to do, I think.
I mean, I think it just comes with experience too. Like
Yeah.
in these various situations, um, where you're impatient and then you figure out, oh, if I just wait, I get this, or you weren't patient enough and you should have gone for this a little quicker. It just comes with experience. I don't think it's something you can, guesstimate. It just it comes over time, and hindsight is very valuable in being aware of why things happen the way they did to better predict how you can take control in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
mm,
get those air quotes. Um yeah, 'cause it's all random anyway, a bit in terms of what you get back from your work, but you can put yourself in a position where it is looking very likely to grow and to build and expand.
yeah,
And I think we definitely talked about that last time. That our outcomes are almost like, divine outcomes. They're not just, oh, A, B, and like A plus B equals C, whatever.
yeah,
It's like not that linear. You know what I mean? So, like what we said, you could look inwards, answer those big questions, um, present yourself in your work a lot better,
mm,
and it still may not work. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And that's the kick, about maybe doing what we're doing, whether it's entrepreneurship, social media stuff, music stuff, that the timing is not sometimes aligned, even
yeah,
though those inputs and outputs should be clicking the way it should be.
yeah,
And I think, like you said, the experience, that is something, only something someone with experience would say.
mm,
Whereas I bet when we were both like 19, we were probably just like, I'm doing everything.
yeah,
This should be working. I did A, plus B equals C, and it's just not clicking.
yeah. Why haven't I made it yet? Why hasn't
Yeah.
it covered me yet? All this, uh, just external or superficial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And like I was saying, like it's a very divine thing, and I think the moment you start to realize that, what they say, like when you're 25, the prefrontal cortex kicks in and or
mm,
it's fully developed, and you kind of come to this point of like, I don't know, maybe extra layer of introspection
mm,
or really thinking things through. And the moment you do that, I feel like I started to get like a lot more calm
mm,
about what I was doing
mm,
and kind of not being afraid to look at myself being like, okay, I'm not doing this right, or differently, I'm actually doing this right,
mm,
but I need to maybe let go a bit, not hold on so tightly. I feel like when you're young, you care so much and
mm.
you have no wisdom. And I think that formula is pretty dangerous, in terms of like self.
I
Um,
I think it's dangerous without experience, but then once you do have that experience, we can learn from that just spontaneous. I like this, so I'm gonna go do it type of mentality. I
mm,
Without the proper wisdom and experience, yes, that can be very dangerous. But now with what we know, 10 years from now, when we know more than we know now, I do hope that I can still see still act childlike to where if I
yeah.
like something, I just go do it without really thinking too much about it. I don't want to be analytical forever or logical forever. I do want to move off of feelings sometimes, and just embrace
Mhm.
the uncertainty sometimes.
Right, right. And it's even like what they say that sometimes being a creative in any type of way, it's like protecting your inner child, you
Mm,
know?
yeah.
And so by protecting it, you do want to be rash and, spontaneous
Mm,
or just completely flip the script because
yeah.
you can. And, it's your thing.
Yeah.
You can choose to do that if you want. And I think sometimes it's just about the balance. Like you said, it's the experience. It's like the balance of each of these like buckets, let's just say, the analytical, the logical, the playfulness, the brash, whatever,
Yeah.
and they all have to kind of get along or
They,
work
they,
with each other.
yeah. In your own way. Like there was this
Mhm.
Instagram post I saw yesterday or the day before. It was this like CEO something. He's like, there's no such thing as like balance. Like he's like,
Yeah.
the first part of my career, I spent working super hard, never went out. I didn't have a work life balance. But now I have the rest of my life to be free. Like I feel like balance is uh to each his own.
Hmm.
Some people enjoy the hustle culture. Some people like something more relaxed. It's not necessarily like what's good or bad. It's just what aligns with you. And I think
Hmm.
um, work life balance, these types of terms can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Everybody's supposed to be on the same page. That's not the case. As long as the job gets done.
Hey,
It,
that should be like no, literally because there's a cool thing I heard really early on. It was like from a screenwriter and he was saying like the only thing I care about is being effective.
yeah.
And so when you think about it like that, if you being effective means that you enter a season of chaos
Hmm.
in your schedule, um, then that's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? Like you'll say that's okay to yourself. Rather, if you have a season where it's very chill, maybe you have a lot of time for yourself, morning runs, whatever, praying and da da da, and everything is perfectly timed and you could still get everything done, then hey, that's where you're at. And I even heard that like this whole balance thing is seasonal. We should look at it as a seasonal thing rather than to say, hey, that's what we should all be striving for.
Hmm.
Some traditional balance, quote unquote, work life balance. That's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like a dream. You know what I mean? A dream that you can get to, but ultimately it's going to look different for everyone. So you might as well just change the way you think about work life balance and just try to be effective
Yeah.
and not, I don't know, it's not, don't chase that because I feel like that's what hey, I'll even say, I was chasing that. Like, oh, I need to have balance, so I'm not going to keep on working tonight or
Hmm.
it's too early in the morning. I don't know, just something, just trying to make excuses, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
because you don't have that. I don't know. You're attaching to the definition of something.
Yeah. You attach is the word. Like real balance,
Yeah.
boring.
Mhm.
Real balance is boring. I do this. I wake up at this time. I eat this. I go here. I pick up this. I do this, and then I go to sleep and I do it all again. That's balance. If you really want to get into it.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't.
I mean, that's routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's routine, what is imbalance? What's another word for that?
I think like disarray.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, there's not a lot of reoccurring events in your day. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, okay, I get up this time today, and then I get up a different time tomorrow. I get up
Yeah.
in my experience, a lot of people in maybe like nightlife or
Hmm.
certain things where you're getting like you have a different show time every night
Yeah.
or whatever and something like that like your days are kind of like a bit all over the place so it
Yeah.
is hard to get like a bit like certain um like a certain routine. Whereas if you have a office job,
Mm.
you get in at 8, you leave at this time,
Yeah, both
at the
are
gym by 6.
like
Yeah.
both are fine. It's what
Hmm.
you want, you know, and clarifying what you want in your mission or whatever. It may require something more balanced, something more expected, and then
Hmm.
other missions may require something a little bit more sporadic, a little bit more chaotic. I don't think again, it's no good or bad or right or wrong. It's just what works.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny. I realized that like sometimes what works is kind of chaotic sometimes. It's just a
Yes.
bit like it's a bit over. Like you're kind of doing a lot. You're doing too much. And I remember seeing this video of this guy saying like sometimes the wins are like the things you almost didn't do, or it's like the things that you're like thinking about a lot, and you're like,
Mm.
this is a lot. This is doing too much, but you did it anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And those yielded some great moments and results in your path. And I really connect with this a lot because I'm
Mm.
like, oh, I would say like, oh, I was moving out of desperation. Like that's why I did it. And
Mm.
so now that I'm not desperate, I'm not going to go to that length anymore. So I kind of attributed going over the edge and all these type of things to something negative, I'll be honest.
Mm.
Whereas now I'm like, maybe I can just do the most and still be like positive about it, if that makes sense. Like don't attribute it to like this just desperate. Desperate is just like a weird word. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? To like do like by any means
Mm.
something over the line. And I think we live in a culture, especially our generation, where do like that word by any means is not a lot of us. I really don't think so because it's
Mm.
very
I mean, when you see uh when you can go on your phone and see somebody getting millions of views and seemingly getting paid for doing ordinary things, why go the extra mile?
mhm.
That's really some people's mentality. And then you have kids who have grown up in a culture where people are rewarded for ordinary things, where they like a extraordinary person, fill in the blank, is like a unicorn.
Mhm.
It was a once upon a time type of thing to go for something like that. Some kids grow up like that. Um, but I lost my point.
No, I think it's funny because I was really thinking about people living like growing up in a generation where very mundane things are rewarded,
Yeah.
especially online and the algorithms, because their goal is different from our goal. Sometimes it feels like
Mm.
what they want is to people to stay on the platform so they can run ads,
Right.
so they can enrich their partners and their
Mm-hmm.
brand deals. And that's not really our goal. What we want is to enrich, our communities, of course, ourselves and what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
But when people see that, oh, well, so and so is just doing their hair on live, or this person is just juggling, I don't know, it could be anything, or this person just cutting onions in a cool way,
Yeah.
and so they can da 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 da. I think people look at, especially what the social media stuff is kind of like just a joke, kind of like a game.
I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
it has definitely turned into that, but I think it's because nobody questions the deeper meaning behind those ordinary things. You're juggling, but you may be, you know, juggling because you joined the circus at one point to pay your mother's medical bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
they're
It's gimmicky
yeah,
as a way to like reel in like an audience or like reel in somebody who, hey, maybe you're selling something,
exactly. Yeah,
you know?
there's something else, but I feel like people are just seeing the gimmick.
Mm,
And that is what is generating the interest.
right.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because it's a art,
mm,
doing the gimmick stuff and like I think there's a I don't know, I think there's a nice art to it when I think about it, to be honest,
mm,
because it's like there's a way for you to do that and to not compromise on your morals and values, and I feel like that's what turned away a lot of people from TikTok at first, because a lot of people that went viral were just like people dancing or like
mm,
very like Vine-esque things.
yeah.
People saw it as like fleeting and not
Mm,
really anything important or substantial. And then over the years, TikTok became like, if anything, one of the mains,
yeah.
you know? And so even now, bro, like TikTok has been around for years.
Mm,
And there's still artists who can't get over the cringe factor or the gimmicky factor or the hey, there are little kids doing A, B, and C on this.
yeah.
Oh, it's like you're performing, you know?
Exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. But again, like there's a way to do it.
There's a way
Um,
to do it, and I think some people just can't admit that that method may not be right for them. Just
yeah.
everybody's doing it doesn't mean it's right for you.
Yeah,
But
but it's also infinite, I think.
what you mean?
I think that you can make it right for you if you really wanted to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm not in the I'm not in the frame of mind that like, oh, there's some people that can't use it and it can't do anything for them. No.
yeah.
I think it could, but it's like whatever you tell yourself. Like there's huge I'm not gonna say huge artists, but they got an audience and they'll like come in and out
Mm,
of like short form stuff and they're just like and they kind of act like a kid.
yeah,
They just like act like a novice.
right.
Be like, "Hey guys, I'm never really on here. Da da da. I'm about to drop my album though." And people are like, "Woohoo, cool." They kind of just entertain them and then but they could be consistent if they want to be. They could make it fun for themselves if they want to be. It's
Yeah,
just that their personality and their psyche it won't allow them.
exactly. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm clear on those things. Like
Hmm.
you don't see Jay-Z posting on TikTok 5 times a day about
Yeah.
hair care routine. That's
Right.
on brand for him. For some people, the quick 15, 30-second clips of my hook or my get ready with me that works for their brand.
Yeah.
When I say, they may not work for you, I don't mean you can't put in the effort to be consistent. I just mean that might not align with you. That
Right.
format. But
Hmm.
you need a format, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it like
You got to choose one.
you have to choose one. You have to accept that this is the way the world is moving. But if it
Yeah.
doesn't align with your mission, your brand, your whatever, you don't have to do it.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. And at the end of the day, you got free will out here. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's on you. You know what I mean? No one's really, again, no one really remembers you till you're really consistent anyway, if we're
Mm-hmm.
being honest. So a lot of these people are just kind of like flashing lights. You see them, you don't. And I remember even seeing a video a couple days ago, like, we're getting to a point where like the minimum barrier of entry for this content stuff is at least dropping a vid a day,
Yeah.
short form.
Yeah.
No, at least. And if you, I'm realizing like I did a vid a day for a couple months, and it was a lot. Just doing a vid a
Yeah.
day because you want it to make sense, and then some days you find yourself just throwing up something dumb or just something.
Yeah.
You can tell it's low effort, and it's funny when I say that word low effort because low effort could equal high gain because
Yeah.
that's how things are built now. It could be low effort but high value maybe. Low effort
Yeah.
maybe something and depending on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just hearing like sometimes, you kind of work up to quality. I
Hmm.
don't think quality is inherent, like you just have it or not.
Hmm.
There's a point where you can actually do a lot of stuff, and then the quality comes from your persistence and your execution.
Yeah,
Um,
or even just taste. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point too.
you cannot know anything about photography, but have a lot of money and go buy the most expensive camera, and now your pictures look amazing, but you have no taste.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
point of view.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And I think again, a lot of that where they're good.
Mm,
People are good. Yeah, people good at what they're doing, but I think point of view, like having your own imagination, being able to present that and
yeah,
being consistent with that. If you're able to do all those things, I mean, the future is bright.
and yes, and I think people should stop trying to feed algorithms, and they should stop trying. What I mean by that is it'd be so much easier to be consistent if you were just documenting your life.
Mm-hmm.
But some people's lives they may think is not interesting,
Yeah.
which is, I think the complete opposite. I am very interested in other people's lives because they see the world through a different lens than me. So I'm like, oh, how
Mm-hmm.
do you act during this situation? How do you figure out what you're gonna put on this morning? How do you cook eggs versus how I cook eggs? You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But you can get distracted by what's trending and what's popular, and try to put yourself in that when all you have to do is just put up the camera or do something that you're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It is basic. It's simple. Like we always talk about this, is how simple a lot of things are now. I think, bro, it's really internal. It's what you tell yourself. It's how you look at yourself. And honestly, the more I started to work internally, I feel like externally I started to take more chances.
mm,
And the moment I started to even see that in just the smallest sense, I was like, bruh, like even now I'm like, yo, I want to reach my body goals this summer. I want to reach my whatever mental goals this summer, like mental clarity. I want all these things because that person can probably execute on a higher level. Just like
yeah,
with athletes, why their routine is what it is,
mm,
whatever, no sugar, no late nights, no drugs, alcohol, whatever, whatever. Like that's for performance
yeah,
just as much as for for self growth, whatever. But I think we sleep on that as people in this.
mm,
Like I don't know if you ever heard this I don't know, this podcast, and this dude was saying like artists are like athletes and performers, but you'll never see. It's very rare for artists to treat themselves like athletes. Like,
mm,
yo, I gotta get up this. Yo, I gotta eat right. I gotta whatever have good relationship with my family and friends, whatever it may be.
yeah,
But it's like, nah, we're the ones that are like all over the place. Erratic. Da da. Not saying that's a bad thing. I
yeah.
just think now in this day and age, I think we could really benefit off of some like a shift maybe. It's like, okay, this is really serious. You know, we
But
need
it's
to
not looked at that way, even though, sure, it would help a lot of people to look at it like that. That's not what being an artist is nowadays to a lot of people. They're
yeah.
told that it is the late nights and the touring and the do whatever you want and all that. So, I mean, you do have your select artists like who, when they're getting ready to tour, they're hitting the gym, they're eating right, they're really treating it like it should.
Yeah.
Um, but I think we're still in a phase of cash grab
Mhm.
industry, you know? So,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is what it is. I feel like everyone should see how they could best show up in this world to your, because honestly, that's what it is, bro. You post and it goes to the whole world.
Yeah.
Everybody with a phone, everybody with an account, you know, bro, it shows up in Google searches.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like, what do you want to show up as? And I think there's no point in trying to minimize that. I definitely think you should just face it and really start to think how you're showing up because the answers to that will just open your eyes and
Yeah.
and you can become the best version of yourself out here and get to where you're trying to get to. The moment I started to at least move that way, honestly tough because sometimes you don't like what you see
Yeah.
back in the mirror, but hey, you're better off just finding it out.
I wonder what it would be like to go back to the moment that I first downloaded any type of social media app and made my first post. Like I feel like that was the beginning of the end. Like I chose
Yeah.
to, I mean, it was the way the world was moving, so I guess you eventually have to adapt. But I wonder what life would be like if you just skipped over it and just went about your life. But I mean, I guess that's not an option when you're chosen to do something extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
But that sounds like a very, very peaceful life. And honestly, I think that is my goal now. I'm ambitious, like, and I still want to reach certain levels, but not for the same reasons. And I now I feel like I'm using social media and all these different tools to get to a point where I don't have to use them again, and I can just
Yeah.
be present and enjoy life. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the goal, to look at these as just tools and
Mm,
not worlds that we escape in and just be consumer slaves and yeah, just like almost like be an extension of the market. I don't know if that makes sense, but like to just literally exist to help markets make money, make like help products make money, to people to use our attention for data. And I feel like sometimes we're just data sometimes to people, and to
exactly.
actually, hey, to get our piece,
Yeah,
from it, and then get to our piece, once we leave that app. So yeah, again, that's why we doing what we doing, really, building so we can build our own and create some distance.
for sure.
Um,
And as long as we're in America, we're in a capitalist society. So everybody's
yeah,
selling something. I'm selling something. You're selling something. You know what I mean? And it's just the way you go about it.
yeah,
I can sell something, but it can be beneficial to you. The selling isn't the issue. It's the value exchange.
hmm,
Paying for pain, for
yeah,
distraction, for all the whatever seven vices, whatever you're paying for that. But if you're paying for something that genuinely helps you, I see nothing wrong with that. Um, it's just it's deprogramming the way we think about our society, the way we trade value and um, help each other. With
yeah,
that'll take time, and I don't expect to change that tomorrow. But
yeah. Maybe in our lifetime.
I hope to see the day that you know followers isn't the most talked about thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, we getting there, bro. We getting there.
for sure.
But yeah, bro. Well, this is the end of episode 13. That flowed well. That was good.
Mm,
I'm uh I'm happy, bro. I'm happy because I was like 30 something minutes. What can even be said? But
nah,
there's plenty of time. Plenty of time. But yeah, brother. We're gonna wrap up. And is there any last messaging you want to relay to them folks?
Nah, man, just try to be as present as you can. Find your little pockets of silence to really just allow the universe to speak to you
Yes, sir.
without distraction, and move off of choices, choice by choice, and try to make the best one you can at any given moment.
I love that. Well, thank you, bro. This is See, I'm going by my real name. I'm not doing the artist name stuff. Bilal and Jeff. Okay. That's what we doing now.
Yeah,
But yeah,
man.
episode 13. That's a wrap. We'll catch everybody on the next one.
Yes, sir.
Peace.